Watching movies and jamming out. K-Flix 198.4 Fiction Radio.
Welcome back to K-Flix Fiction Radio, and this week we're talking about a movie that was so hard to market they chose a cow wearing boots over Val Kilmer's handsome face for the poster. It's Top Secret from 1984.
Yeah, they did. I was curious as to why that was the poster image when I started looking into this movie, and then we found out sort of that it was just a big old mess.
Yep.
And that was one of the messy things that was done. Top Secret, famously the follow-up to the smash hit Airplane.
Yes.
By the Zucker brothers and Jim Abrahams, otherwise known as Zaz, collectively Zucker, Abrahams, Zucker.
Well, the follow-up movie, they did do the first season of Police Squad before this, correct?
That's correct. Yes, true. Yes, they did do a stint on television, 6 episodes of Police Squad.
Which later became the Naked Gun series.
Which was very successful. Police Squad wasn't terribly successful, and boy oh boy, Top Secret was terribly unsuccessful.
I understand how the movie was hard to market.
Sure, yeah, and the producers themselves have, I think we both read the same really self-effacing, hard-hitting interview with them where they kind of pointed out all the flaws with it.
Yeah.
They were like, listen, we didn't, people assumed we knew how to structure a film after Airplane, but we just happened to copy a movie that had good structure when they were doing that parody, whereas this movie Top Secret is based on, it's more of a genre parody.
2 genres at that.
Yes, it's mixed genres at that. You're right.
They do refer to it as a joke book, not necessarily a movie.
They do. To me, what it feels like to me is like a Stooges movie, a Three Stooges movie or special or something. One of those things where like there's a plot. They're going to the opera or something, right?
Right.
And so every time we drop in on the boys, it'll be something around or in the opera theater. But beyond that, it's like the plot doesn't get in the way of comedy.
Right. That said, I enjoyed this movie quite a bit.
I thought it was super fun.
Yeah, there were some bits in there that really, really made me belly laugh. And I am never going to forget that underwater bar fight.
Oh, it was great. And just to realize, like, they filmed that for real.
Yeah.
They went down for 10 to 15 second shots where the actors would perform one little part of a full-on bar fight with bartender everything underwater, and then like they would cut and get their air masks in really quickly. But yeah, they just shot it the whole thing that way.
That was so impressive. It really blew my mind because it just kept going. I thought it was going to be for a couple of seconds and then that would be it. But no, it's a full underwater bar fight.
Full on. Yeah. And it is one of a few things this movie has become really known for over the years. And it's, it was considered a flop at the time, although it made well over its budget back. When they shot it came in under budget.
Oh, really?
Just crazy. I've never heard. Yeah, it was like they had an $8 million budget, which is nothing. And they got done and they were like, oh, they only spent $7. Total opposite of Blues Brothers.
Yeah. No shit.
But and it made like 20 million. So it made money. It just wasn't the level of hit they were expecting, especially after Airplane.
I was going to say, yes, they absolutely wanted another Airplane.
Mm-hmm. I think smartly the guys were asked to do Airplane 2 and they're like, oh, what's that going to be? It's just more jokes on the plane. We've already told the story. It's just thinking of 500 more jokes that are specific to being on an airplane.
New jokes.
I don't know. To me, this movie, Top Secret, I get what they're saying. It does float around a bit. There's stuff that doesn't make sense if you look into it. I do not know when it takes place.
Yeah, that's true.
Within a 30-year span, I do not know when it takes place. It's kind of like modern stuff has done, like Archer. The show Archer does this. Like everything's sort of like a 60s aesthetic, but like there's some 20s stuff going on, like some noir stuff, but everybody has cell phones, so it's just like they purposely don't place it in time. I don't know if Top Secret was purposely not placed in time, but it just seems like it's definitely after World War II,
right?
Because East Germany exists, and therefore it's definitely before 1991 because East Germany exists, and also that's in the future.
Streets of Fire stuff.
Yeah, it's weird because it's not, but it's not like a weird, like, oh, everything's strange. It's just like, oh, this could be old. It could be now. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I really hadn't thought about that because you're right. They do not say when it takes place.
There's not a good answer to the when. No. But that said, I mean, some of the jokes in this joke book are so good.
Oh, my God.
Omar Sharif getting smushed into a car.
Oh, yes.
Shaped box, like cartoon style. I was not expecting that. That set my expectations for the rest of it. Like, oh, it can be this wacky. Cool. He was speaking from inside of it. At one point, he gets oil and it like refreshes.
Yes. Yeah. It's so silly. I also really liked the bit where they had just jumped out of the plane and they are having the romantic moment in the sky and they sort of float out of the camera shot and it pans over and there's like a lit fireplace also. It has a parachute floating in the sky. That fucking killed me.
So many jokes that are like for the prop department.
Oh, yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So many good things to build. Several of the things in this were from other movies. The scene where they show it's supposed to be like a model, like it's not supposed to be a model view. It's supposed to be looking out the top story of a building down on like the city, but that it's clearly models, and it's especially clearly models because they have rats or mice crawling through it.
Yeah.
I just thought that was such a silly joke, but apparently that was from the original Superman movie. That model.
Yeah. If it still exists, use it.
Yeah.
Speaking of if it still exists, use it. Did you come across the Peter Cushing information?
I did. Well, I mean, I read a bit about Cushing and the scene that he was in. What specifically are you getting at?
So obviously his eye wasn't huge like that. So they had to make a mold of his face to create that eye.
Oh, yes.
But then flash forward to 2016 when they wanted to have him in Rogue One, they used that life cast from 1984 from this movie.
They sure did.
To generate his face digitally for that movie.
Yeah, to put him back in the Star Wars universe. They reached back to the top secret props bin.
Crazy.
I read that. I don't know the whole chain of custody. Like, who even had it? Who was storing it?
Yeah, who kept it in that good a condition? That's wild to me.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Good job, person.
That's something. Because Peter Cushing's been dead for a long time.
Yeah, 1994, I believe.
He was a pro. This is a thing these guys established that they're going to do in Airplane. Use old, like, serious actors in funny roles.
Oh, yeah. Like Michael Goff being in this.
Omar Sharif as well. Peter Cushing as well.
Sure.
Famously Lloyd Bridges, Robert Stack, and Leslie Nielsen in Airplane. And, you know, Leslie Nielsen had a long career of being like a super funny guy after his serious career. Arguably, like, that's what he's known for at this point.
Yeah. I brought up Michael Goff because he was Alfred to Val Kilmer's Bruce Wayne in Batman Forever.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that bit of trivia.
Michael Goff played the scientist that they needed to rescue.
Okay, I had no idea. It's been a long time since I've seen the Val Kilmer Batman. So yeah, I did not recall who the Alfred was.
I think he was for the Keaton stuff too. It was the only carryover.
Oh, really? That makes sense. Yeah, wasn't it the same guy, the Clooney one as well? Or was there no Alfred in the Clooney one? It's so funny because I just think of it as Michael Caine now, but there's always been an Alfred.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Okay.
He's the Alfred in all four.
Wow. So Burton through Schumacher got the same Alfred.
Yep.
Man, oh man. I think as of this recording, it's been about, 2 weeks since Val Kilmer passed? Less than 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think that's right.
I mean, we had this episode planned, but it's nice to be able to do a little send-off in the process.
I loved watching Val Kilmer do what he did. It was always incredibly entertaining. He could be funny. Yeah. He could be serious. He could be intimidating. He could be scary. He had it all, man. I really loved watching Val Kilmer.
There are so many right now great stories coming out about a guy who already there were a lot of great stories about, but now it's just like people are opening up the fire hose of it, of just how kind of wacky and beautiful and wonderful he was and generous in real life. But there are some crazy stories. Lots of articles, lots of podcasts. Will Forte in particular has just a lifetime of stuff to say because Val Kilmer was his accidental roommate for a while.
Yeah.
After MacGruber. Not accidental. He stayed a lot longer than Will maybe initially thought. And this was his first movie ever.
Yeah.
Top secret. He was straight out of school, straight off the theatrical stage. And it sounds like it was a little bit of a rocky road filming because he wanted to like dig into his character. And again, the Zuckers and Jim have admitted there wasn't much of a character. No.
Yep. Yep.
He was playing a guy, and, there was some frustration around that. But I think later in life looked back on this very fondly.
Well, I mean, he's great in it. He did all of his own singing in this. He sounds great in it.
He sure did. Yeah. I mean, that's honestly the reason it's worth an episode of our show.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to do. That's how he auditioned. He came in doing the Elvis character for his audition. And I think that's why he got the role.
Certainly didn't hurt.
To come out the gate. With the singing part, I mean, the rest is almost easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really? Like when you think of actors, it's like, oh, and they can sing.
Yeah.
That's the...
Well, what was the first thing that you saw Val Kilmer in? Mine was probably Willow.
Oh, man. Was mine... Oh, there's no way it was Batman.
Tombstone was before Batman.
I still don't think I've seen Tombstone.
Tombstone is great, and I don't like Westerns.
It's just another one on my list of movies that it's unacceptable to have missed.
Maybe Batman was the first thing that you saw him in.
For me, it might have been, man. I'm looking. When was his Batman?
95.
Oh, I definitely, I've seen a lot around this. I've seen The Island of Dr. Moreau. But I've never seen Heat. See, I've seen all the wrong movies. Like everything that's a classic, not on my list. No Heat, no Tombstone. True Romance. No, man.
He got to play Elvis in True Romance.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Is True Romance with David Lynch? No.
No, it's a Quentin Tarantino written.
Oh, Tony Scott. Okay. Just full on doing Elvis?
Yeah, well, he's like an Elvis inside of some... He's like an imaginary friend Elvis.
Okay, nice.
I sent you a trailer for Real Genius today because you've not seen that, and I absolutely love that movie.
Oh my God. I want to see it very badly. I think my response to you is it looks like Buckaroo Bueller's Day Off. Like it's like all the like super science whiz guy of Buckaroo Banzai, and then but he's like a college funny guy.
Yep. Uh-huh. Very accurate. So as mentioned, Val Kilmer did his own singing for this movie. So it should be no surprise that he also did his own singing when he portrayed Jim Morrison in The Doors.
True, yes.
So here's Val performing Break On Through in The Doors.
Yeah, you know the day destroy the night. Night divide the day. Try to run, try to hide. Break on through to the other side. Break on through, break on through.
So I have a second example of Val Kilmer singing this song as Jim Morrison.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. When he hosted SNL, he was in a sketch called Behind the Music, Rock and Roll Heaven, where they explored the idea of creating like a fictional supergroup of dead people.
This comes up, I should let you know, on the Lonely Island podcast, not because it's anything from the era of the guys who host that podcast, but Seth Meyers had at that point begun the process of trying to get on the show and was just at this show.
Oh, wow.
So they talk about it a little bit.
Okay, interesting. Cool. So the band members are Val Kilmer as Jim Morrison, Molly Shannon as Janis Joplin, Jimmy Fallon as Buddy Holly, Jerry Minor as Jimi Hendrix, Horatio Sands as Keith Moon, and Tracy Morgan as Louis Armstrong. And the name of the band is called The Great Frog Society.
That's what they chose. Okay.
Okay, so now I broke on through, but I still got a question for you. Now we're on the other side. What do we do? Now that we died, not this side, the other side, not this side, the adjacent side, yeah.
Got to get the Louis Armstrong in there.
So the gag there was that they were all in heaven, right?
Yes.
The joke is heaven must have one hell of a band.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah. I mean, dude was always a good sport about poking fun at stuff.
Yeah, he really was.
Like, he took his craft really seriously, it sounds like, but, like, also was okay having fun and maybe learned a little bit about that on Top Secret.
Yeah, totally. And Real Genius, because that was the follow-up to this.
Oh, yes. Before he broke out big.
With Top Gun.
So, Shawn, we have not yet really talked about the plot of Top Secret, and we did reference that it's loose.
Yeah.
But there is a story, and it's of an American rock star who's been invited by the government of East Germany to perform there.
Yes, Nick Rivers.
Played by Val Kilmer. And by the way, I didn't realize going into this that Val Kilmer was the lead, honestly. Like, I did that little reading into it before watching it. And I just kind of assumed, like, oh, it'll be Leslie Nielsen and blah, blah, blah. Like, it'll be a bunch of people from Airplane. And then there's a character who's a rocker played by Val Kilmer. But no, he's like the main guy. He's who the movie's about. So that was a nice surprise. That said, as crazy and weird as this movie is, and as much as we don't even know, like I said, when it takes place, it was kind of weirdly, like, prescient. Like, it called something that was about to happen in the 80s. I think this movie came out in 1984, right?
Yes, 84.
So, you know, without without turning this into a long thing, rock music was harder to come by in East Germany and in the USSR in general, right? There were all kinds of rules on what kind of music you could create as an artist. There were obviously laws prohibiting the import of Western music and cultural items and stuff like that. I mean, on the other side, it's very real that the US and our allies set up radio stations. I mean, Radio Free Europe was created to beam this sort of thing into the Soviet Union to get our culture in there and get people wanting it, right?
Right.
In ways that did happen. And just in the process of figuring out what I wanted to tie this movie Top Secret to, I went down the rabbit hole and discovered for myself some East German rock bands. And I wanted to share them with you.
Great.
The first band, I feel like I have heard the name before, but I wasn't super familiar. But they're called Pooties.
Okay.
Puhdys. I'm going to spell that one. Pooties. I think I'm saying it right. I have no idea. But I wanted to play you a clip of their song Geh zu ihr, which means go to her.
What is that instrument?
Oh, that's like a jaw harp or something, I think.
Yeah.
The bing bong Western movie thing.
Okay. Interesting. I like it.
Yeah, so that was from 1973, and these guys have been described as sort of doing a really good job of walking the line. They became very successful because they did everything right. They submitted all their recordings, all their lyrics to the Ministry of Culture to be examined for, like, you know, anti-communist themes and stuff like that, and they passed all the tests because they only used a little bit of metaphor here and there to be, like, against everything.
Right.
But they were successful enough that they were allowed to tour outside of East Germany. They were actually allowed to go into the West. And it was a whole thing. Quite a few bands had this opportunity, but they, you know, from what I've read, also knew, like, this was a golden and precarious opportunity because, like, the temptation was strong if you got out of the East to stay out.
Sure, yeah.
So they all knew that back home, their families were being tailed and watched, and that they would be retribution if they tried to leave via one of these tours. So they always came home.
Wow.
Now, another story, I read about a handful of these bands. I'm just picking two. So that was Pooties. This next one I'm going to play is called Renft. Yes, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's Renft, Renft.
Oh, very Aerosmith right away.
Aerosmith, kind of Led Zeppelin-y, yeah. Like, these guys rock. This is from 1974. It's called Nach der Schlacht, which means after the battle. This song's pretty badass.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
These guys rocked so hard that they had a special meeting with the Ministry of Culture, who literally told them, you don't exist anymore.
Whoa.
And busted up the band.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean they got back together and I think still play post Soviet Union. But yeah, in the late 70s they were just told like, nope, you're going too hard.
Wow.
Your rock and roll is influencing the kids in a bad way.
I'm afraid you're just too darn loud.
I'm afraid you're just too darn loud is what the government of East Germany said. Yes. So this went on and it went back and forth for many years. I mean, there was a Rolling Stones concert in West Berlin that triggered riots in East Berlin in the 60s or 70s, and then it went on and on. Eventually in 1987, there was a show. I mean, listen to this lineup: David Bowie, Genesis, and the Eurythmics.
Whoa.
I'd go.
Yeah.
And they played in West Berlin, and they played right up against the wall, and they pointed the speakers over to the other side of the wall. And this is in 87, and now, you know, the government is a lot weaker on the east side, and they don't want to risk starting any riots like with the Stones, so they're kind of loosening up, and they're you know, letting people gather a little bit more and hear the music from the other side. And this kept going and going until they said, we've got to let some artists come in, like a release valve, basically. I mean, there are lots of artists credited with this. A guy named Cliff Richard in 1976 is technically the first Western rock act to play anywhere in the USSR. He played in, well, all over, but mostly in Russia, it sounds like. But in East Germany specifically, in 1988, there was a big moment. Bruce Springsteen was allowed to play a show, and there's a video of it. This is not just some crappy version. This is from that show that I'm playing, and you can just see 100,000 people clapping their hands, rocking out to Born in the USA 2 years before the Soviet Union would completely fall. Before we get back to Top Secret, there is one more thing I want to mention. Are you familiar with a band called Scorpions?
Yes, Dustin. I saw them as, depending on how you look at it, my second or third concert ever.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Why the discrepancy? Now I gotta know.
Well, it will be covered in a later episode of K-Flix Fiction Radio.
Fair. Okay. Anyway, Scorpions. Not the Scorpions, by the way, as I've learned. It is just Scorpions, much like Pixies, not the Pixies.
Oh, sure.
Just Pixies, just Scorpions. If you don't know them, you do, because you know this song. Most likely.
Great song.
But still a big song, but one that maybe less people know. Came out in 1990, and it's called Wind of Change.
Big fan.
August summer night.
This accompanied a tour in the USSR. Like now we're even closer than Bruce to like when everything went under. But there are rumors, and they're just rumors. You know, no one's ever confirmed this, that the CIA was involved in writing that song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is there something hidden in the whistle? Because I've always been a big fan of that whistle as a song.
No, it's not like hidden in the whistle. It's more overt. It's more like, well, I could see why if they were involved, they wouldn't claim it because there's no reason to. Because it's just the general tone and like messaging of like, oh, a wind of change, like the wind of capitalism, perhaps, kind of thing. But yeah, there's there has been a whole podcast produced about that, and spoiler alert, they didn't get to the bottom of it either, but a lot of credible stuff.
Man, well, I mean, that's awesome. I didn't know you were going to bring up Scorpions today, but I'm thrilled you did, and it just brings me to a 14-year-old me flashback again.
That's awesome.
Oh man, I'm gonna listen to "Send Me an Angel" right after we finish recording today.
Oh, there you go. So that's just a little bit of what I learned about East German rock and roll music. And dude, there are a bunch of other bands out there that I want to keep listening to.
Oh, fuck yeah, absolutely, dude. I mean, you played some good shit here today, so send it over when you do.
I'll send you this playlist. I may even put a link in the description for everyone.
Hell yeah, you should. Now that we got the history out of the way, what do you say we get into some Nick Rivers tunes, Dustin?
Yeah, let's get into the music from what Weird Al says is one of his favorite movies.
Well, I mean, he's the king of parody, so at least parody music, and that's what we're here to talk about today. Mm-hmm. So, makes sense. Let's start where the movie begins and tackle skeet surfing.
Oh, so good.
Totally bitchin', riding waves to blast clay pigeons. And it's so neat shooting skeet while you're riding on the heavies all day. First wave, Don't get tired. Second wave, aim higher.
Aim higher.
This song is basically an amalgamation of most Beach Boys songs.
And it's very much in the style of specifically the stuff they were doing with the movies, or even the Elvis beach movies. Like there was a style of film in the 60s that like the set that they're on in That Thing You Do, just like a vapid beach movie, right?
Yes.
And it's such a good little build for this joke, because it starts out, you think like, oh, okay, I get what they're doing here. I've seen this kind of people surfing intro to a film, and then when they all have rifles and you realize that
yeah, they're shooting clay birds.
Skeet shooting while surfing.
Oh my God.
So good.
It's so funny. And I was also just really impressed with how well this one song captures so many Beach Boys sounding songs in itself.
Oh yeah, it nails it.
Because most of it is Surfin' USA, which everybody knows.
If everybody had an ocean.
Yeah, the quintessential early Beach Boys sound.
Exactly.
If everybody had a 12 gauge and a surfboard too.
But there's a lot of other stuff in there too.
First wave, don't get tired. Second wave, aim higher. Third wave, pull inside.
That's very Little Honda-like, including the way that it sort of intros into that.
First gear.
It has the pop, 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 and then it goes right into the vocals. So that's super similar.
The lyrical counting, I would say, yeah, you've 100% pinpointed the inspiration right there.
And then the next one is really small. It's like it's got the Chuck Berry plucky guitar sample right here.
Yeah.
That, which is
Yep.
fun,
Yep.
fun.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, and that one I would argue is the most just like if you were doing anything with rock music in the 50s, early 60s, you were definitely trying to copy Chuck Berry.
Yeah, well, you'd be a fool not to. It was a great sound.
But yeah, they they totally nailed the Beach Boys sound, and all with a joke. Did you read that they came up with this just as an inside joke on the airplane press tour?
Yes.
They were just like bored, and some reporter was like, "What do you guys like to do for fun or something?" And they were like, skeet surfing. You ever heard of it?
I love that. It's a great joke.
It is. It's a good bit.
That's not even all of the Beach Boys tributes. We got California Girls stuff in here too.
Wish they all could be double barrel.
Oh yeah. I wish they all could be double barreled.
Yeah. And if if you need that spelled out.
I wish they all.
Yeah.
But of course, everybody knows this,
That song always makes me now, by the way, think of Chris Kattan doing David Lee Roth doing that song. Oh. Because David Lee Roth did cover that song.
He did, yes.
But or not even doing it, but like Chris Kattan's impression of David Lee Roth was seemingly like 90% from that music video. Like he always had the little like captain, the sailor hat.
Yeah, he did.
He was saying like Zoobadibba. Yeah, man, you nailed it there. I didn't think we'd get to the bottom of who they were trying to sound like on this one. But good job picking out the precise moments.
Yeah.
All right, next up, I think we're going to talk about the song How Silly Can You Get?
But a little rockin' and a little wine got me thinking about a little Valentine. What's a lonely boy to do? She looks so fine. How silly can you get? Yeah. How silly can you get? Ooh, yeah. I never ever meant to stray.
This one's still Beach Boys-y to me, but it's more just the open zeitgeist of, again, like 50s, 60s rock, like the beginning of rock and roll. It sounds like early rock.
Yeah. Yeah, because I can still get the Elvis influence in there too.
Bit of that, yep. Although though, like it goes higher in a way that Elvis didn't usually.
True.
That bands did. Elvis was like the solo act.
Right. The interesting thing to me is if you had just played any of these songs before I watched the movie and asked me, Shawn, what famous actor is singing this song? There's no way I would have guessed Val Kilmer. He sounds so great, but he also doesn't sound like he speaks.
No, not at all. And dude, with this song in particular, like, okay, skeet surfing, like obviously that's pretty weird.
Right.
This song could have just been a song.
It could, yeah.
Like,
It could have just been a
how silly
song.
can you get? It wouldn't be like out of left field for just a cutesy 60s rock and roll song.
It's fantastic that you said it could have just been a song because it was written by somebody who just wrote songs. It was written by Phil Pickett, and Phil Pickett co-wrote one of the biggest songs of the 1980s.
Really? Whoa.
Karma Chameleon by Culture Club.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a double whammy because Culture Club didn't write Karma Chameleon?
Co-wrote.
Co-wrote, okay. Phil Pickett.
Yeah.
Nice. And he ended up entwined with all this top secret business too.
Yeah.
That's cool. Is this the only song of his on the soundtrack?
I think so, yes.
Well, that makes a little more sense to me now why it sounds like a song.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Skeet Surfin' sounded like a song, but I think it is like...
It's because it sounds like so many other songs. It's direct parodies.
It's a lot of them put together, and they have to get to a lot of moments quickly because it's the whatever length intro of the movie.
Right.
So it moves in like a movie cadence.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's fun. It was jarring to see Val Kilmer sing, because it does not sound like what you would think it would sound like.
No.
Just the thing where someone opens their mouth and you're like, oh, that's you. That's actually you. Huh.
Yeah. So I don't want to play the song Spend the Night With Me, but I did notice something that I wanted to talk about today. For the performance in the movie, he goes through a bunch of scenarios where he's trying to take his own life.
Yeah.
And his backup singers are helping him not do it. Like he falls back on some railroad tracks and they pick him up and he tries to put his head in an oven and they pull him out. He tries to hang himself, but they take him away from the noose, that kind of a thing. And that really reminded me of the James Brown Please, Please, Please bit where he would like constantly get tired and then they would throw the robe on him and then he would throw the robe off and just be energized. And it was like, I think that might have been a parody of that sort of a thing.
Oh, I believe that I read that it was.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I did not read that.
You came upon that on your own. That's great. I was not familiar with the James Brown thing, but I read that and and was like, oh, okay, nice.
I was only familiar with the James Brown side of things because Eddie Murphy would parody that on SNL for his James Brown.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I have seen.
Right.
That's funny. Yeah, totally. I think it was directly inspired by that.
That's hilarious. I did not come across that information. That's pretty funny. But I do want to play a quick clip from Straighten Out the Rug because it's probably my favorite song in the movie.
Nice.
You better watch that mean old rug, don't bite your back. You better watch that mean old rug, don't bite your back. Yeah, I'm telling you, baby, it ain't no back, don't back. You gotta straighten the rug. Yeah, straighten it out. You gotta give it a shove. Yeah, scream and shout.
I have no hard time whatsoever believing this is your favorite song in the movie.
Right?
It's an awesome blues shuffle. It's got horns in it.
Yeah. It's crazy high energy.
It's made for you.
Horns. Yeah. Oh, big wall of sound.
I don't think I disagree with you, by the way. I think it maybe is the best piece of music.
Again, it felt like a song. It has silly lyrics, but not overly silly lyrics. It's not Skeet Surfing silly lyrics,
Right.
But there is a particular thing that struck a nerve for me in the song.
Oh, yeah?
So take a listen to the way the song starts. Tell me if it strikes a nerve for you. You ready, Dustin? Gladstone? All right, fellas. Let's go. That's right. The Ballroom Blitz.
Yes. I don't remember the song, but you played a song with a very similar drum intro, and I said Ballroom Blitz last time, and you were like, no, it was Radar Love.
Yes.
This time it is Ballroom Blitz.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a shuffle.
Oh, yeah, man.
I love it. Yeah. It's designed to make you want to move, you know?
For whatever reason, this one didn't hit the Radar Love for me. It was like, no, this one is fucking Ballroom Blitz. So, Dustin, this episode's coming to a close. So, you know the question coming your way. If Nick Rivers was a real artist producing music in our reality, would you listen to him?
This is a harder one. This is one of the harder times you've asked me. Yes. Yeah, I'd give him a little more listen. Because again, the hypothetical, like, who knows how he may have evolved.
That's true.
And it depends. Was this just a weird guy in the 80s doing 60s stuff? Was this movie set in the 60s? I don't know. There's a lot of variables here. But sure, yeah. I wish I could hear Val Kilmer sing more in his career. I mean, I'm famously not a Doors fan.
True.
So haven't seen that movie. I should probably watch it.
Yeah, he's real good in it.
I'd like to hear more. I mean, and confirmed, cannot hear more, but would love to have heard more.
Yeah,
Val Kilmer singing.
I agree with that because again, he sounds so good in this that it's surprising no one asked him to sing really outside of the Doors.
Yeah, it's weird that it didn't continue to be a thing for him.
Very strange.
But happy we got what we got.
Yeah, I agree.
And happy to have seen this movie.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming for me. I mean, Airplane, my God. I remember seeing that when I was very young.
Oh, totally.
It's good to close that chapter with Top Secret.
Absolutely. Yeah. A very fun watch. Some top-notch jokes in there that I did not see coming, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah, man. So rest in peace, Val Kilmer. And also, dude, I didn't even realize Jim Abrahams passed in November of last year.
Oh, I also did not realize that.
Jim as well. Yeah, it's just the Zucker brothers now.
Oh, man. Rest in peace to both of those very talented gentlemen. And we will see you next week with a rom-com starring Ali Wong and Randall Park featuring the fictional band Hello Peril. It's the Netflix movie, Always Be My Maybe.
Always Be My Maybe. I always get that title wrong, Shawn. I was like, call me by your maybe. Which is a couple things.
Yes, yeah.
Mashed up. Always Be My Maybe. Join us next week.
If you had fun this week, dear listener, please give us a rating or review on whatever platform you're currently listening to this on. And if it's YouTube, give us a like and subscribe.
And find us everywhere at fictionradiopod.com and contact us at fictionradiopod@gmail.com.
See you next week for Always Be My Maybe.
Watching movies and jamming out. K-Flix 198.4 Fiction Radio.